Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News, X Rotation, however the flip you know me on these interwebs. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick recap as to what happened during Week 1 of Stage 4 of the CDL, going into Major 4 in beautiful Paris, France, hosted by the Paris Gentlemates. Now, hope you guys enjoyed that intro. Speaking of the Paris Gentlemates, there has been a heck of a lot going on in the space today. Over the last 2 to 3 days, really, ever since the match day ended on Sunday, we've been hearing a lot of rumblings of Joe Thieves being moved to the Gentlemates in place of Neptune, potentially Sib and Neptune going to Koi for Joe and Kips. Now we're hearing that Sib might be replaced by Kips as well still, and that Joe might also still be on the way to Mates. Not sure where Neptune's going. It might not be to Toronto. Sib also might not be going to Toronto. We'll see when I update you guys later on with a separate video. So let's get into this video first. We kicked things off with the Toronto Koi, who you guys know I thought would get taken to a Game 5 because I thought that they were in a weird spot given where their team was in terms of the chemistry and just what we knew about things going on with Jamie Insight, right? So let's look at our recent results, see how things panned out. I, of course, was wrong. Lurks and Co. came in. They got the win that I thought might have been possible if Carolina looked more functional than the whole of the Toronto Koi's parts. And yeah, I mean, it looks like their Movado was not counting time. It just stopped. All the pieces stopped working together, you know? So, speaking of Movados working and all the pieces working together, we had Fire 40 being the #1 cog to power this machine. 1.19 KD, 57 kills, 48 deaths. Talk to him. Nice. Lurks, the star player of the Royal Ravens, 1.16. What you expect from Lurks. Great series, 59 and 51. Sandy, -1.98. Great showing from Sandy. Great debut series. And then Exceed, -2. So, everybody on Carolina showed up in these three maps. Conversely, Kleenex only went -8. Joe went -5. Insight -2, and Kips -1. So, honestly, no one really got massively outslayed here. Just very close series that went the way of the Ravens. So they took things 250 to 178 behind a strong performance from Lurks, who was 30 and 20. Fire 25 and 23. On the other side, Joe Siebes 28 and 24, and Insight 23 and 22 for the L. Lurks was the standout in this map, of course, going 7 and 5 with the highest KD overall, 1.4. 8 and 7 from Fire, 7 and 6 from Exceed, and then 6 and 6 from Standy. On the other side, Kleenex only player to go positive, but everybody had a pretty decent performance across the board. Same story here in the Overload. Joe Siebes went -8, worst performance in the lobby up until this point, really across any of the game modes, right? So, yeah, I mean, very close series. Royal Ravens just look much improved, and honestly, I think the dysfunction in the Koi camp is the reason why they lost this. If they were playing to their normal abilities, I don't think Fire's going 24 and 18, Exceed 27 and 23, and Sandy 26 and 24 to close out the map. And on the other side, you had Kips going 26 and 23. It just didn't feel like a typical Toronto output, and I chalked that up to the team. So, speaking of chalking up to the team, we had new look G2 taking on Cloud9 New York. You guys can see I thought it would be a 3-1 for G2 Minnesota, and that is indeed what came to fruition. The ice was there for the boys in the North. They are still, I guess, the best team in the North, right? Until Koi gets back into form. So, Krempy, 109 and 83, 1.31 on the day. Envoy, the new pickup, 1.06. Skies 1.01, and Nasty, the other new pickup, 0.92 in his debut for the G2 side. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry, I just had to get a quick yawn in. So, looking at the Den, map 1, this of course being a HP as per usual. This was 250, 240 in favor of the Minnesota G2 side. Couldn't have gone any other way with C9, right? Every hard point with them has to be within 30 points. There was another one this weekend. Actually, there were two more this weekend that were this close. So, yeah, 38 and 28 from Kremp, 1.36, 1.07 from Envoy, 32 and 30, 35 and 28 from Nej. Excuse me. And then in the S&D, of course, excuse me, G2 was able to chain this momentum into a strong 6-3 victory behind the Dark Prince going 9-4, doing all the shot calling, all the IGLing, whatever you want to call it. 6 and 3 from Skies, 7 and 4 from the star player of the team, Kremp, and 5 and 5 from their new pickup, Nasty. On the other side, everyone on Cloud9 went neg, but they got it back in the map 3, where Hyde went 28 and 20, Webby went 31 and 23. Webby is really showcasing that he is a superstar on the come up in this league. 27 and 24 from Encourage, and Nej going even 25 and 25. Kremp, only player to go positive 28 and 27. Then the map 4 blew him out 250 to 109. I mean, all green lights for Minnesota G2, 36 24 for Kremp, 26 19 from Skies, 27 and 21 from Nasty, and Envoy 28 and 26 for the dub. Looking at our next series, we had Optic Tech take on the Vancouver Surge. 3-0 for Optic. You guys know I thought it would be a 3-1. I thought Surge probably take S&D, right? Nero 64 and 59. Only player to go positive 1.08. But on the Optic side, you had Hook the Nuke 1.21, 68 and 56. Shotzi is SMG duo matching KD, 70 kills, 58 deaths. Mercules getting back to it, 61 and 55. And then Splash, 43 and 49. Didn't have to do a lot, was just chilling. Map 1, Sake Hardpoint went the way of the green wall, 250 to 98. Mercules, 22 and 14. 27 and 19 from Hook. What a blackout from him. And then 22 and 16 from Shotzi. Dashu's 11 and 15. He's just chilling. Everybody on the Surge well into the negative. Map 2, this went the way of Optic Texas to the surprise of no one. Round 11, S&D, no problem for the Optic Texas boys. They always got the ice on Hasi. 13 and 7 from Nero. He tried his very best, but, you know, in that 1v2, just tough. 12 and 6 from Merc, 12 and 10 from Shotzi. They took over, and they were just, man, poor Lunars. He was trying to make plays, but just couldn't. And then, speaking of making plays where they couldn't, Optic was able to take the overload in a thrilling 4-3, where Hook went 35 and 29. His duo Shotzi went 36 and 32. And on the other side, you had Nero dropping almost 40 kills, 39 and 30, and Craze going 36 and 33 for the L. In our next series, we had the LA Thieves taking on Faze Vegas. You guys know I thought that Faze would get the 3-2 dubski. This time, I thought they would go back after it went fourth. But this time, it went fourth again for the LA Thieves. So, speaking of going fourth, Ernie was hitting that W key. He was moving forward, hitting that shift. He was running it the fuck down. 1.08 for Scrappy, baby. 94 kills, 87 deaths. He was just running and gunning. And so was his best friend, Mr. Lair, Simp, 94 and 79, 1.19 KD. Amazing performance from Simp. Luza, 84 and 80. Great showing from him. 04 -1, draws -7. No one on either team really did that bad. BZ -13. I mean, not that big of a deal in a series this caliber. And then Nia -9 won the series. Who cares, right? Looking at the map 1, speaking of won the series, who cares? Faze got off to a hot start here, winning the Gridlock rematch from Major 3. Of course, this is where Faze famously lost by 7 points, 250 243, to eventually get knocked out by the Thieves. So, started off righting that wrong. They won at 250 207. 25 and 20 from 04 to start. Abuza, his duo, 31 and 25. 29 25 from Simp the Pimp. 27 and 25 from Draws. On the other side, Scrap, only player to go positive, 30 and 28. Map 2, of course, LA Thieves were able to rebound 6-4 behind a strong performance from Hydra and Abizi. Abizi, the First Blood Reaper, didn't get many First Bloods. Scrap is actually the First Blood Reaper. Soul Abizi's nickname and his gimmick. Word for word, bar for bar. Soul's whole flow. Speaking of stealing people's whole flows, 7-4 from Hydra, 10-6 from Abizi, 7-5 from Scrap, and 6-5 from Neum. Then on the other side, Draws 9-7, Simp 8-7. They tried their very best, but when you have 04 and Abuza combining for 3-16, go next, right? 5-2 scoreline for the LA Thieves to take a dominant 2-1 lead in the series in this map 3 Gridlock Overload. One of our first time seeing Gridlock Overload in the league. This is actually our first time seeing it. This was the debut, if you will. 30 and 24 from Ernie, 28 and 23 from Neum, the new rookie on that team. And on the other side, Drawzilla tries very best to dethrone Ernie and the boys, 27 and 26, but not enough. Speaking of not enough, the LA Thieves did not have enough left in the tank to take down Faze on the Scar HP and seal out the series in 4. Simple 27 and 15, Abuza 29 and 18, 04 25 and 20, and Draza neg 7 18 and 25. Then on the LA Thieves side, everybody went neg, so not a lot to say for them there, just Faze dominance, right? Speaking of dominance, LA Thieves absolutely ran this gritty search and destroy. We had gritty for 1, 3, and 5. LA Thieves 1, 3, and 5. So you got to be pretty happy about that, winning 2 new maps in the Roto, right? So actually, they won the 2 new maps because the 2 new maps are introduced in this Roto or in this stage rotation, right, are Gridlock S&D, of course, replacing Plaza, and then Gridlock Control, which was just an addition. So 8 and 4 from Neum, 9 and 6 from Abizi, 6 and 6 from Scrap, and 7 and 7 from Hydra, and then Simp 10 and 8. He tried to do his very best, but team didn't show up and help him out. Maybe Neptune comes in, helps him out. Who knows? Ooh, Intel. Okay, speaking of Intel, we got some intel on how the Carolina Royal Ravens are looking. Still ass, okay? Gentlemates were absolutely in tatters based on what we've seen over the last 48 hours, and somehow they were still able to beat this Carolina Royal Ravens team. So that to me communicates that this team might be a level below pro, you know? Just like a certain LaRue. So, speaking of LaRue, we have the guy who thinks he's his natural successor in all but accolades, Mr. Sib, going 71 and 57 for the dub, 1.25 KD from the kid, 65 and 57 from the captain of the team, Dan Ghosty, 70 and 62 from the new pickup Estriel, and 67 and 63 for the Major One MVP, Mr. McLeod, Neptune himself. On the Carolina Royal Ravens side, of course, Lurks MVP, not surprising there, but you're not playing Koi, so no free 3-0 here. You get 3-0 instead. So, speaking of how they got 3-0 instead, 250 197 is how the Paris Gentlemates kicked it off with that belt. Shout out to the Knicks. Game 1 tonight, about to have that belt active. Jalen Brunson, we're pouring honey on you. 30 and 23 from Neptune, 31 and 25 from Sib, 33 and 27 from Ghosty, and 26 and 25 from Estriel. On the other side, you of course had XC being the only standout on the Royal Ravens to go very positive, going positive 2, and he had a 1.08, so yeah, tucked. Map 2, Gritty S&D, went the way of the Gritty Gentlemates. 11 and 7 from Sib, 8 and 9 from Estriel, 7 and 8 from Ghosty, and 6 and 8. I'm sorry, 7 and 8 from Neptune, and 6 and 8 from Ghosty. Then the other side, 11 and 8 from Lyrics, 10 and 8 from Fire, and then Exceed went even, but Sandy was neg 5. You have to think that that was probably a difference maker. If Sandy gives you more of an output, then game's probably a little bit closer, right? For Ravens, and they probably win. So, speaking of games probably being a little bit closer and Ravens probably winning, they probably almost shoulda, coulda won if you tilt your head and, you know, squint your eye. But that don't work in real life. So, Gentlemates win this 5-4 behind 36 and 28 from Estriel, 26 and 22 from Ghosty, Sib going 29 and 25, and Nep going -2, which is negligible, right? On the other side, Fire, only player to go positive 27-24. That's how we close it out. Speaking of closing it out, we had the Boston Breach taking on the Vancouver Surge, and what was honestly one of the better series that we've seen in the quals. So if you missed the highlights, go check them out on the channel. You know where to find your boy. Thanks for all the love and support lately, guys. This last video I uploaded last night did 300 views. Another one from a couple days ago did 300. This one did 140. You guys are showing a lot of love. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, 110 kills from Afro, 111 deaths. It's almost like the Astros are in his Afro. If you know, you know. 89 and 85, Spart was doing very well. 89 and 86, Purge is actually making massive contributions once again, so turning things around. Now on the other side, Nero was the hero for the Surge, but, you know, the day was not saved. 109 and 97 from Nero. I mean, plus 12 is pretty typical when your team's getting tucked that bad, or maybe he's just kill whoring that egregiously. Who knows? 250 to 234. Nero went 42 and 35. TJ went 41 and 35. Former teammates many moons ago, right? 35 and 30 from Lunars, 36 and 35 from Craze, and then Mamba neg 5. On the other side, of course, you had Afro being the only person to really get close to TJ's scoreline with 40 and 39. You have to think if Purge doesn't go 22 and 37, probably quite a different game, right? Map 2, Raid S&D went the way of the Vancouver Surge. 11 and 6 from Lunars, 9 and 7 from Nero, Craze 7 and 6, and Mamba went even 7 and 7. On the other side, Afro only player to go even with a 7 and 7 scoreline. Map 3, Gritty S&D, Gritty Overload, it's always Overload, was a Boston Breach victory. Purge finally got himself up off the map, brushed that dirt off his shoulder, where to Jay, and, you know, felt like a pimp, I guess. 28 and 14, 2 KD on him. 22 and 17 from Spart, 26 and 25 from Afro, and then on the other side, Nero, only player to go pause, 28 and 26 for the L. Speaking of the L, Boston handed it right to the Surge with a 250 to 192 scoreline behind 31 and 22 from Afro, 26 and 23 from Tej, 21 and 20 from Purge, and an even 18 and 18 from Spart. On the other side, you had Nero, of course, going 23 and 22, and Mamba going 24 and 24 for the L. In the last map, that being the map 5 on Hosty, our decider, we of course had Craze going 7 and 6, Nero going 7 and 7, and Mamba going 8 and 8 for the L. And then on the other side, you had Purge going 12 and 6, Spark going 9 and 5, and Afro going 6 and 6 for the dub. So really just a difference in form in the front and back half of these series. You can see Surge came out very hot, but in the second half of the series, Vancouver Surge got completely iced, got drowned out, and that's how the day ended. Speaking of the day ending and people getting drowned out, we of course had the Riyadh Falcons taking on the Miami Heretics. I'm pretty sure I chose Riyadh here, right? I did. I did choose Riyadh. I had Surge winning that series. Damn it. I had mates winning this. Good. So let's just do a quick tally. Bad, good, good, bad, good, bad, good. So, alright, so 6 out of 10. That's not bad. So, speaking of 6 out of 10, we had Pred with 120 kills, 94 deaths, 1.28 KD on the series, 111 kills, 100 deaths for Kiz, the Bulldog. Then on the other side, everybody on Miami went negative in Trakes' last series on the Miami Heretics, sad face. Fuck these guys, man. I'm gonna just say it right now. Like, dropping Trakes, nah, like, I hope they fail for the rest of the year. 250 to 234 in favor of the Miami Heretics. The first and last Colossus hardpoint that I hope they win in this stage and for the rest of eternity. CDL, drop my guy. Nah, it's personal. 30 and 29 for Rancor, 36 and 37 for Trakes, free Trakes, 33 and 36 from Metals. How is he still on the team? 30 and 33 from Super. On the other side, you had Pred going 42 and 31, and then Kismet going 35 and 30 for the L. But thankfully, they were able to get it right back and hand those fucking frauds a fat round 11 L, which they deserved, right? Now, in retrospect, well deserved. 13 and 6 for Kiz, 10 and 6 from Pred, 7 and 7 from X, 10 and 7 from Metals, the man who should not have stayed on this team. Drake should be on this team. 6-5 exposure scoreline. Ha! Falcons gave him that close little belt. Whoop that ass, boy. And Trakes was the leader on the leaderboard, too, showing them what they'll be missing once he's gone. 38 and 32 from Xnid gave him that belt. 22 and 19 from Cell. 31 and 29 from AG. And 30 and 31 from the Bulldog. Now, on the other side, 34 and 31 from Trakes, the GOAT of the Miami Heretics at this point. Metals minus 13. Yet Trakes gets fucking dropped. Super goes 27 and 27. I'm so heated. Map 4, Hossie Hardpoint, and mapped Miami Heretics as a franchise has always been quite good at. 28 and 26 from Rancor, 29 and 27 from Metals, 28 and 30 from Trakes, and 24 and 26 from Super. Then the other side, 29 and 25 from Pred, 28 and 28 from Kismet, and then the other two went neg for the L. In the last map, game 5, Sake S&D, I mean, Falcons just absolutely made them look like they had never spawned in on this map. Like, when I was watching it live, I was like, damn, if these guys even scrim this once, like, they look clueless. 8 and 3 from Pred, 7 and 3 from X, 6 and 4 from Cell, and then 5 and 5 from Kiz. Yeah, like I said, Miami just looked absolutely clueless in the game 5, so I don't know what else to say. Speaking of I don't know what else to say, we of course had a 3-0 for the Riyadh Falcons over at the Paris Gentlemen. Yes, they did close out Saturday night, and they started Sunday afternoon. 70, 73 and 63 from Xnid, the young shooter, the crown jewel of Saudi and this Falcons roster, right? 61 and 55 out of Cell, 62 and 57 out of Pred, and then Kiz 62 and 63 -1. So Bulldog did his thing, just didn't show up on the scoreboard as pretty as it did for his other teammates. 1.03 from Estrel, 67 and 65. Everybody on mates with the exception of Ghosty had relatively not bad series. Nep -7, Ghosty -18, egregious. Sib -1, not bad. But pretty close one on paper. It's just the Riyadh Falcons were the better team, right? And considering all the fallout from the mates, I mean, there's a lot brewing under the surface. 34 and 24 from Cell to kick things off. 34 from Cell is crazy. 38 and 28 from Xnid. 27 and 30 from Kismet, and then 25 and 31 from Pred. On the Gentleman side, you of course had Estriel Lone stand out to go positive, 35 and 29 with a 1.21. Ran it back on the Sake S&D 6-4 in favor of the Riyadh Falcons. Pred went 10 and 5, Kismet 7 and 5, 8 and 6 from X, and then 7 and 6 from Cell, King Kobe. Now on the mate side, Sib, only player to go positive, 8 and 8. And then to close things out, we had a Scar Overload, pretty quick one, 27-21 from Prad, 28 and 28 from Kiz. I mean, 3-1 for the Falcons. They honestly were just dominating and farming kills at the end, so not a lot to say. 30 and 24 from Nep, 25 and 24 from Sib, Astral 28 and 27. I mean, yeah, not a lot to talk about there. Pretty quick one. Speaking of pretty quick one, we had Optic Texas taking down the Miami Heretics in the series. That certainly got Drake's drop from this team. They realized, I guess, for their standards, they didn't like what they saw from him, and they feel like Metals and Real is a better duo. I mean, from what the coach said, they were like, "Oh, Drake's like loses his head too much, and we like we're spiraling." I'm like, "No, you guys just started playing ass. Like, why are you scapegoating Drake's? Whatever. It won't get better with Real. These guys will keep doing the same bullshit, getting eliminated from LAN in record time because they have no time to build chem with Real. With this new team, I mean, it's the same team as last year, but new game. Like, and Real was also not good from what we saw. So I'm not sure what they're expecting. Just a panic move. Anyway, speaking of panic moves, one person who's not panicking in the clutch, Shotzi, 74 and 58, 1.28 KD, 68 and 56 from his duo, Hook the Nuke, 1.21, 1.13 from Mercules, 71 63, and Dashy, 1.09, 62 and 57. On the other side, Super, as many would call him, the snail of the Miami Heretics, 72 and 64. He outpaced a lot. Medals, damn.
Embarrassing.
Damn. Minus 24, gang. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Minus 24 is crazy. Alright, so map 1, 250 215 in favor of Optic, 36 29 from Shotzi, 31 31 from Dashy, 34 and 34 from Merc. On the other side, 38 and 32 from Super, and 30 and 29 from Rancor. In map 2, S&D on Raid. This, of course, is round 11 for Optic Texas. Second one on the weekend for them, but, you know, they're too icy. 9 and 5 from Shotzi, 11 and 7 from Merc, 9 and 7 from Hook, and then on the other side, Super, of course, only player to go positive on the Heretics, 9 and 7. But Trakes, 9 and 10, solid showing, and 8 and 9 from Metals, solid showing from him as well. If you get more from Rancor, probably a very different game. Map 3, Exposure Overload. This went the way of the Optic Texas boys, 6-1. Of course, Hook was nuking, 30 and 19, 1.58, 25 and 17 from Splash, 1.47, Shotzi 29 and 24, 1.21, and Merc closed it out with a 26 and 22 scoreline with a 1.18. Super, of course, only player to go even. That's how he put up 72 kills, but it was all for naught, right? Speaking of all for naught, Boston Breach took down Cloud9 New York in the most heartbreaking series that we've seen in quite a while. I mean, looking at the hardpoint score lines, like, Cloud9 went to bed pissed. Everybody on that team went to bed pissed multiple hours later. I know they did. Series MVP Purge definitely had to piss some people off on that team, right? 1.2 from Purge, a guy who's been getting called every name under the sun that people can cleverly think to take him down. 91 and 76 from the young man. 194 from Afro showed up, provided great support for his SMG duo. On the other side, you had Webby and Nezra, the C9 SMG duo, popping off 99 and 91 from Webby and 97 and 91 from Nej. So, yeah, I mean, C9, no one on the team really got massively outslayed. Even Encourage, their worst performing player, was minus 16, comparable to TJ, who was minus 14, so basically cancels out. Looking at the map 1, speaking of canceling out, Boston Breach were able to take it. After they made an insane comeback, they were down by over 100 points, and they were able to win this game, even though Cloud9 was in pole position for way longer than they should have been, if we're being honest. 26-25 from Purge. Afro went even 30 and 30. Then on the other side, Nezra 38 and 29 for the L, along with his SMG duo, Webby, who went 35 and 29 for the L. Looking at the map 2, of course, this is the lone map that C9 was able to win. They absolutely dominated on this Sake S&D. Probably just because Breach is a new team, they don't have any reps on it. TJ 9 and 8, what you expect from TJ, right? Nezra 9 and 5, Webby 9 and 6, 10 and 7 from Hyde, and then Encourage 3 and 8. But yeah, I mean, C9, they have been a team for a while that core 3, at least all of stage 3, so they're definitely more practiced on Sake than a team like Breaches, who just formed last week, right? So looking at the Den Overload, of course, that being our last map 3 of the weekend, we had Afro going 28 and 23. He absolutely went nuts. 25 and 21 from Purge, 27 and 24 from Spart, and then Tej was neg 3, so he did his thing. On the other side, everyone on Cloud9 went negative. I mean, Nej minus 1, but yeah, I mean, everybody negative. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Look at the map 1 and map 4. 9-point difference in map 4, Den, and then 5-point difference in the scar. I mean, a 14-point difference between two hard points is insane. 35 and 31 from Encourage, Webby 31 and 29, 34 and 23 from Purge, and then Afro was 34 and 34, 36 and 34 for the dub. I mean, this one was so crazy. Just go back and watch the highlights if you're seeing this. Yeah, and if you're watching this far into the video, thanks for all the love and support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get this engagement up. Can't just keep having views and no likes and comments. Come on, guys, let's get into it. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night based on where you are on this beautiful planet. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone else who you think might enjoy the content or who likes this niche. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Like I said, it'll be a great morning, noon, or night, and I'll be back at it again with a preview of what to expect going into Minor 2. Yeah, catch you guys then. Once again, this is Chris from Esports. Let me know, man, these interwebs, and I'll catch you then. Peace.